You're Near the Wild with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hey everybody, it's Near the Wild. I'm John Norris here in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm Mat Becker in Anchorage, Alaska.
Mat Becker, you're on your bus, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Throw that in there.
I'm Mat Becker, sitting on the bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Greg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona.
It's a lonely day on the bus. I couldn't be there.
You're here in spirit.
Good.
It's a beautiful day on the bus, Becker was telling me.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Sun's shining.
Yeah, it sounds like some liquid sunshine right there.
Yesterday was one of the funniest days ever. We were having our breakdown after the Papa Roach concert, which was phenomenal.
That was Saturday at Chilkoot Charlie's.
Yeah. A week where they were hanging rain over our head, and it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Screw you, weather people.
You know what? God loves Papa Roach. That's what we can all learn from that.
And it was one of those classics again, where right when Papa Roach came out, the clouds parted, the sun shot right on the stage like a goddamn headlamp.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's what we call the light show in Anchorage, since there's you could read a newspaper at midnight, so there's really not much in the way of lights on the stage.
Yep.
So, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So what was crazy about yesterday?
Yesterday was one of those days that you see every once in a while. So we were having a little barbecue, a little thing, and so I had the pop up from the show I took, and I put it up in the backyard,
like a 10 by 10 low canopy.
Yeah, just in case, because it looked like it might sprinkle a little bit, and it went from pouring down rain to bright and sunny to pouring down rain about every 15 minutes. You could time it. And Dennis almost caught it. Dennis was filming it because I said, "You want to see it stop raining?" I ran out in the rain. I said it was pouring, and it completely stopped. Unfortunately, he didn't record the part where it stopped.
The key part to that.
Yeah, but it's still amazing.
Well, that's great, man. John, did you go to the show?
I did not go to the show.
What was your Alaska adventure this weekend? And was it could it have been messed up with some rain?
Well, I've had some adventures this week. I went to last weekend. I went to McCarthy, which is a little tiny town about 8 hours east of Anchorage.
8 hours east.
8 hours east. You
Okay.
can't drive into it. You have to drive like 70 miles down a dirt road, and then you have to park your car, and then you have to hike the last mile into town.
I seem to remember there was a guy who would hold an annual event out there, BMAC. Didn't he do something in McCarthy with some with the Grannies, that band from San Francisco, punk band?
Yeah.
This wasn't that. This was a totally different situation.
I was not part of that.
Okay.
But were there still flyers up for the Grannies?
I didn't see any.
This was years ago.
Yeah.
So it's just a little town. There's a bar. There's a couple of little restaurant spots and a market. And then it's just kind of like a summer. It's like a summer village. Like a bunch of people just go there and they live there throughout the summer and then come back to, their real life in the winter. So we went out there to go, me and Tucker Campbell, another local comic.
Yep.
And his wife, Kate. We all went out there. I went to go make a couple of videos. They went to just go camping and hang out. And we got out there, and we were told we were going to do comedy at the bar. And
like you walked in, and someone you knew said, "Oh, here, we can have them entertain us."
Or do they just make everybody who walks into town do this?
It could be. If you're going to go,
got lucky.
Got to have a tight 10-minute set before you go to McCarthy.
Before you pack water or some purification tablets or some cornmeal, make sure you got a tight 5 or 10.
Absolutely.
Nice.
You have to walk into the town. So what's it say on the bar door? Does it say, remember, eventually don't drink and drive?
It's not a big problem there.
Yeah.
Not a huge problem there. So we did our set. I got heckled by a Discovery Channel reality TV crew.
I thought they're not allowed to interact. Like Star Trek can't get involved with people on the planet they visit.
Well, that didn't seem to be the case because I think they got their first real genuine interaction with a person out of me. So I think everybody else was acting. but I was being, pretty real when I told them to shut the fuck up.
Oh, well, at least the give and take was normal.
Sure. And
Wow.
so I don't know. I wouldn't say it went bad, but it didn't go well.
Well, when it goes well, it goes well.
Sure. So it went bad.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, how bad? I mean, was it just because they were heckling you, or was it just the people were shut off and isolated on their references?
Well, if I might add before you answer, to me, when you walk into a bar that is having comedy and you didn't know they were having comedy, and it's the only bar, and you're kind of forced to watch comedy, that's one thing. But you didn't even know you were going to do comedy.
Sure.
And then you're also at a bar with, like I said, the former. They're people that maybe came there because they've got a good pulled pork sandwich, and then all of a sudden you're telling penis jokes. So
and it wasn't like they weren't having comedy. They set up this show especially for us. Like we were the only ones doing it.
Like the Little Rascals, our gang. Let's put on a show.
Yeah. And they did say there's a local guy who does comedy who may or may not show up. And so
let me guess, he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
He didn't. Okay, so he didn't show up. But then an hour after we were done and we were drinking already, this guy Monty shows up and everybody's like, Monty's here. And he gets on the mic. Everybody shuts up. He's a local dude.
Yeah.
He kills it. He's like telling jokes about being a rafting guide. He's playing to the crowd.
Oh, total like local references, like super deep that you guys.
Absolutely.
So he understood the room.
Absolutely. He got it.
I just like the fact that Monty shows up to headline the gig.
Yeah, surprisingly after everyone else went on.
Sure. He shows up like, oh, I thought this was starting a couple hours later, and he was funny. It was good, but me and Tucker just sat there with our arms crossed, shaking our head at him. But it was a good show. I highly recommend. Maybe you could book Stanhope in McCarthy.
Yeah.
He loves hiking, right?
The surprise is done. No, there's no hiking. No.
So is there a hotel in the town, or are you just camp? Or
there is a hotel in the town.
What's the population of the town? Do you know?
I think in the summer it's got to be like 300.
Oh wow!
So, but it is a real town, right? There's like mail delivery and
there's mail gets flown in twice a week.
How much does that cost?
I don't know.
Well, no, they just find out you're going to McCarthy and they give it to you.
That's what I was thinking. Hey, could you do comedy and drop this off for us?
Bring us a box of oranges. We all have scurvy.
Well, okay, that was last weekend. What did you do this past weekend?
This weekend I went to a friend's wedding reception party thing, and it was really nice out in Indian, which is between Anchorage and Girdwood.
On the way to Girdwood, it's about halfway, right?
Yep.
Right near Bird Creek.
Absolutely. Original home of the birdhouse.
John, it seems like you go to a lot of weddings, or a good number of them.
I think I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married.
I think I've been to 3.
Ever?
Ever. Yeah, and I've got one brother and 2 sisters, and I only went to one of those. They're all married.
I think you're making the right choice.
No,
gifts. It's a hassle.
There's a lot of standing around and shit.
Absolutely.
Becker, have you been to a lot of weddings?
Lately I've been able to get out of most of them because now I'm at the point where people are either not getting married again, or they're doing it like it's like we have to get this done.
Yeah.
And, courthouse.
Yeah. They do a lot of courthouses now, and I like that. They come back and tell you about it.
Yeah, and then someone will bring a piece of cake wrapped up in a napkin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've married 4 people now in the birdhouse. I've married them, and they're all still together. So I'm batting 100.
100%.
I mean, you see the ugly side of marriage. You see the bachelorette parties.
Yeah,
that would turn anyone off from being anywhere near that group again, even if they're hungover and bedhead,
Oh yeah, and when there's that whole thing where you see the whole group and the one that's like the one girl that's surly because her friend's getting married.
Yeah.
And and I don't know if Rick's gonna be there. He might have to work or go hunting. And you're like, what? And they're like, but you get it all right then. That night, you're getting it. You're going, I don't know. I go, when's the wedding? I go, 2 days. I go, oh, well, you should really have this all worked out. I mean, and your bartender's busy coming up with plans here. I would go with the ice sculpture on this.
So, Becker, if I could put you on the spot, what are your top 3 pet peeves from either a bachelorette or bachelor party that go into the birdhouse? Because this is a destination in Anchorage. If you're getting married and you have a bachelorette or bachelor party, you definitely go in and get a shot or a couple rounds in the birdhouse. You were totally seasoned at this, and I wonder if you might have a couple of pet peeves. Top 3, if you can.
Well, see, the thing is, it's not pet peeves. I appreciate when they come in. The only thing you really want with like a group like that, like especially either gender, is come in there first. Don't come in there last.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're like, I may get it. Go to the bush, go whatever, go, whatever last, but don't come in already, like, because 3 out of the 5, I can't even serve them or talk to them or do anything. I just go, hey, you know what? Your friends are wreck, and let's give them water, and they're getting kicked out anyway. So let's just get this done right now.
And they're going to look better in the picture earlier in the night.
Exactly.
They won't have the gin blossoms all over their face, or the updo hair is all fucked up. It makes sense to get the picture done first, hang out, and then move along.
And plus, if they're going to be stapling their underwear to the wall, you want to get that done early.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I don't want them. I don't want them on the way out. I want them the way in.
Fresh.
And once they're up, no staple removers in the birdhouse.
But yeah, no, and that's the other thing is that I mean, they come in with the best intentions. But here's the deal, and it doesn't matter if it's whatever it is, whatever group you're with, his birthday or anything else. Don't make the poor guy or the woman getting married, the guy getting married, or the birthday person. When you order a round of shots, get your goddamn money out. Stop making the goddamn birthday person or whoever else pay for their goddamn round of shots for you and your deadbeat friends.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that more and more. They all stay around, look at the person, go, oh, I go, I was always told, and this is, I don't know how you guys grew up, but if it's your birthday, you don't pull out your money. Someone around you should have money out already.
Yeah.
Listen, not only is this son of a bitch getting married, he has a better job than all of us, so he's paying.
Yeah. He's about to be double income, dude.
So the wedding you went to, John.
Yeah.
Was it outdoors?
It wasn't really the wedding. It was just a party because they had they got married in Mexico.
Oh.
So it was just a party.
legal.
So it was great. And it was, we drank a lot. There was a band. It was it was at, in like a nursery.
Mm-hmm.
Over in Indian, so it was nice. It was really nice. Great food, amazing food.
Do they have kids?
They don't have kids.
Were kids allowed? I think that's what Becker's asking.
Yeah, there were some kids at the party.
Is that a deal breaker, Becker?
No, I just
when you walk into a wedding,
why they were in Mexico. I thought they were dropping their kids off so they could have a party without them.
Nope, no kids for them, but there were some kids at the party, so nobody got too crazy. But it was really nice.
How many people?
There was probably about 70 people there.
Okay.
I think that's a way to do it. Like go off and do your ceremony, maybe invite some like real like immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole standing around and having to waste a Saturday, I mean, it's kind of a beat premise. But that whole idea of that, it's really everyone's hanging around for the party. They're hanging around for the open bar, and I don't know. Did that whole thing? I'm just traditionally I'm just not into any of that shit.
No.
Sure, because most weddings you go to, you have to go to like some church, and then the party's like somewhere else across town.
Yeah, and you're already drinking.
You have to give people like 10 different addresses that they have to hit throughout the day. Just have a party. Nobody cares about the ceremony.
Why'd they pick Indian?
I think that's just where the place was.
McCarthy was booked with comedy.
McCarthy was booked. But they had they actually had a shuttle. They had 2 like shuttle buses going from the cars on Huffman on the south side of town, so people didn't have to drive all the way to Indian if they didn't want to.
And they could sober up on the way back.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
That was nice. See, that's a good idea.
Now, Becker, you had the right idea for a wedding.
Yeah.
Yours was epic. Even though I missed it, I went to it, but I didn't go to it.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, that was one of the ones. If you're gonna do it once right, and you'll never have to do it again.
That was
like linoleum.
The one with asbestos. Detail what you did, because it was very clever and fun, and it really stood out as a must go to.
Yeah, we basically agreed to get married. We go, oh yeah, let's just do it. Who cares? And so we set all the prelims up, and then we threw in.
Sounds very romantic the way you put it.
Well, no, and that was the beauty is we were like, yeah, I guess. I mean, it was just awkward. We were like, okay, we had no problems with each other, and then we went, this could maybe screw everything up. Who knows? It's happened before. Remember, look how many people have gotten married and then they get divorced a year later, and you're like, wow, you guys lived together for 14 years. That was weird. That 1 year you couldn't do it. But so we basically just said, let's just have fun. And, having everybody in the bar industry, it was like we felt like the bar should be set a little higher than most. And we took everything we hated at every wedding and took it out. And so, we had like a 3.5 foot tall Spam monkey. That was a requirement. We got married outside in January, so it was like 13 degrees outside. We got married in a backyard in Anchorage. And when they got done, they shot flares off, which was just a great way to do it. And it turns out, you're not really allowed to do that. But
no, that's especially in. I mean, that actually qualifies as one of the best fireworks shows ever.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. The whole yard was bright red. I mean, it was like people, they thought that was a brilliant idea, and I was like, I'm sure this is fine. I don't know if you can get a permit to shoot flares in town.
And then a Coast Guard copter comes in and starts doing circles, very confused. Like, I'm pretty sure they came from here.
Well, that was the lights for the dance floor.
Mm-hmm. Talk about cold feet. Save me! Help me! Throw me one of those ring dings.
I actually got there. You had the reception in a it's up at Russian Jack, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, the Russian Jack Chaille.
So and it's beautiful. It was a huge cold snap. It was very fucking cold, and I got there late. I think that's back when I worked at K-Whale, and I was running late, and I missed the last shuttle because he couldn't drive to where the ceremony was because they were doing the ceremony out on a balcony, outside in the fucking middle of winter in Alaska, and I had to sit and wait, staring at that Spam monkey till everyone came back. So I didn't see the actual ceremony, but then you did it right. You go there and it's fucking freezing. You're gonna quickly get through that. No one's gonna stand up and go, I have something to say at this ceremony. Yeah. It's like no, come on. So then they all came back, and then the chalet rocked. It was fun. But I think it was you built the party and then you threw in the wedding ceremony like really briefly in there.
Exactly. Probably the best advice you ever give anybody is just literally, get that part done. And, and that's, I said, I think now the new trend is just get married at the church or at the courthouse or however you want to do it and just beat feet and go have a party.
Or Mexico.
Yeah. But I mean, that's it. And now they space it out. We did it the same day, but now they space it out. They go, we got the marriage thing. So by the time they show up at their reception, they're already married. They're moved in together. The baby's already been born. You're like, oh, this is good.
Now we're saving for the divorce.
Well, I don't understand how the ceremony became such like a big thing when it used to be just like a financial transaction. Like, well, I'm going to buy your daughter. That's what we're doing now.
Oh yeah, they trade livestock, a dowry, I guess.
Yeah, and then it became like, well, we're gonna look like royalty. We want all of our friends and family to look at us like we are their kings and queens.
Like the gypsy weddings.
Sure.
That you see on the reality TV. It's all bling bling and this ostentatious look that they're living in trailers, But they have a pumpkin carriage and a dress that doesn't even fit in the fucking carriage. It's absolutely ridiculous.
No, and I think that's what puts a lot of marriages on the rocks. They start out with this grandiose idea of, and then we'll rent horses, and then we'll do this, and then we got a lady on a harp that's going to be hovering over the stage, and then at the end they go, "How much did this cost?" And then they end up spending the next 2 years financially strapped, and they get divorced.
Wow, we should have just got a spam monkey and a flare gun.
Yeah, that's it. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You spend too much on the wedding, she ends up fucking the bartender. You'll never meet her again. It's over.
This episode of Near the Wild sponsored by Bride Magazine.
We got to bring on people divorced. We got to find people who got hideous divorces and just talk to them.
Why?
Because I mean, that's the one thing you hear in bars is it's not the guy that wants to tell you about it. It's the guy that doesn't want to tell you about his divorce.
Well, yeah,
the
it's
guy
different.
that sits there drinking a beer and won't talk. You go, "You ever been married?" He goes, "Yeah, 5 years ago I was." And you go, "I got to hear this story." He'll explain to you how he had a boat and 3 cabins and fucking the newest truck, and now he lives somewhere off Peterkin.
Well, it depends. He moves around a lot.
Studio apartment.
We live over in the old part of Anchorage, and the thing is there's one house, and Lake Otis is like the street going down, and there's one house there. It's got a brand new Hummer in front of this house. It's a little dilapidated little house. I mean, these are the old row houses they used to build in the 50s, so they were just for warmth, and they didn't make them big or anything. But this brand new Hummer sitting in front of this little dilapidated, literally paint falling off the house, you just know that's a divorce.
Yeah.
Like, you can have your Hummer, and I'm taking our house.
I was going to say, there's probably more room in the Hummer.
No, and that's it. But you just know there's a great story behind it because he's sitting there with his $70,000 Hummer sitting in front of a $500 house.
At least I got the Hummer. That's all that matters. You can have everything else.
Oh, we talked about salmon stock?
Yes.
Last time? I actually played the first 2 years.
You did?
Yeah. Because the second...
From the corrections department.
From the corrections, yeah. In the last podcast, we were talking about salmon stock, which is August 1st through 3rd. And this is their 4th year. But yeah, JJ Tranquilla and I and a bunch of other people put together a second band for the second year. And then the 3rd year is the year that they wanted to bring a lot of newer acts in. But we moved from the puppet stage the first year to the flatbed truck the second year.
Oh, okay.
So it's forward progression.
Right. And so yeah, we're all set to go this year. We're gonna go down Saturday and throw down at the last salmon stock.
Yeah, you should. It'll be fun. And
John, are you going?
Yeah, I'm in.
And then Becker, I don't know if I know you've already got your tickets. I don't know if you got your hotel yet, but September 27th, Doug Stanhope's doing one night at the Plaza in Vegas.
It will be a fun show.
And aren't you going to open for him?
Yes, I am. We're going to relive our youth.
There we go. Because you guys started comedy about the same time, didn't you?
Yeah. He was about maybe a year or so in, and then that's when we met in Phoenix. But yeah, he was living in Vegas when he started. So
that's where we were last week, and that's the last time I had a drink. Yeah, it was a pretty decadent two days at the Plaza downtown, the new old Vegas. It's way happening down there. And Sal, the old Sal man from Coots, I ran into him, and then hung out with Tommy Rocker, and then we've got a bunch of people from Alaska coming down already. And we just did a podcast with Doug last night, and he's announced it too. He's trying to think of a way to get someone who travels the furthest on a Greyhound bus, somehow award someone some kind of prize if they actually. I
mean, just making it live on that would be.
The Plaza is in the downtown area. It's right next to. They share a common driveway with the Greyhound bus station in Vegas,
which has always been one of the funniest things ever. Because when you think casino, you think bus people.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's kind of the way it was. I mean, we're like off season, and Monday, Tuesday at the Plaza, there's there's more than one person walking around with who just kick their shoes off and walk around with socks on.
When we were at the Plaza one time, when Doug and I we were hitting the poker tables pretty heavy, and this guy came up to us and said, "Can you get me a ticket to Salt Lake?" And we're like, no, I don't know. He goes, "No, don't give me the money. Go over, buy me the ticket, and make sure I get on the bus. My kid is in Salt Lake. I have to go, and I don't have any money, and I'm not to be trusted. You have to buy me the ticket and get me on the bus."
If you handed him the money right there, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to walk away from you.
No,
out
he knew
the door.
He said, "You have to get me on the bus." He put us in charge of him.
You're like his chaperone.
I think it was $78. We got him a ticket. We put him on the bus.
Yeah, that's the Plaza. So if you do take a look at your calendar and you can make it down, Becker is going to open. Stanhope is doing one show. It's going to be a blast.
One show only.
Yeah.
What's that date?
September 27th. I think Cass Smiley texted me that she's coming down too. Another comic from the Anchorage area.
Oh, yeah. I might have to make it happen.
But
no, it will really be fun. And then Sunday we got football.
The third, I think it's either third or fourth week of NFL, and the game that night is I think it's the Bears against Dallas. It's someone against Dallas, so it'll be good to. And they've got a sports book at the Plaza as well, so a lot going on. We're gonna have some fun, and it's pre-October for you guys, or pre-Halloween,
right? Yeah,
up there, so you guys can run out and have some fun.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Oh, and I saw I pulled up the Plaza, and did you play poker at all?
I don't play card games. I play video poker, and the only reason I played this last time was that it was so incredibly slow that, and I was so drunk that the bartender, Bud, Filipino guy, he basically was playing my hands for me. I would put my finger over what to hold, and he'd shake his head if I was making a wrong move.
Nice.
And he would do that for 7, 8 hands before he'd even look around to see if he needed to help anyone. Because chances are there was no one even waiting for a drink. And he continued to get me fucking hammered.
So at the Plaza, even Greg Chaille can be a whale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think Bud is a traditional Filipino name.
It worked for me.
They name him after the first drink they serve. Is Cuba Libre working?
Hey, you said you were looking at something at the Plaza. Poker.
Yes. And so I pulled it up because they were one of the original that had the card room. That's where we sat and played. And one time when Doug and I were playing, we were sitting there, and this one guy older guy was sitting with us, his table of whatever, 1-2 limit. And he kept trading in chips with the dealer, and they seemed to be friendly, and we couldn't figure it out. And finally Doug realized, he goes, "Hey, is this you?" Because there's 3 guys that own the Plaza, and they all have their picture on the casino chip. And he would only bet with his chips, with his picture. So we were playing against one of the owners of the thing in 1-2 limit.
Well, so it's changed a little bit there now because Doug was moving from the roulette table, which he was double-digit hours into standing there. And he texted me, he goes, "Hey, you want to play some poker?" And I go, I don't play poker, card poker. I just never have. And so he went to sit down, and then almost immediately he's back up in the room. I go, "What happened?" He goes, "There's like one table, and they don't even deal cards."
No, it's digital. That's what I was going to say. I pulled it up, and they list all the amenities. No tipping. And whatever. It's a digital. You sit down, and it's like a video game. Yeah. So the poker table is a video game now. So you look down at your digital hand.
So the house really always wins.
Absolutely.
It's hysterical. I mean, the idea we can sit and play, and it's almost like playing on a computer.
Well, there was none of the niceties that happen when you have a dealer and you have a pit boss and you have someone going, "Hey, would you like to have a seat? We got a table. We can open another table over here." None of that shit goes on with that video thing. They're just standing around like they're waiting for a fucking bus or someone to buy them a bus ticket.
Don't say that, yeah, because they really could be. But yeah, that's what I thought was funny. Is I go, "Oh, great, we can play poker at the Plaza," and I go, "Oh, we could also play on maybe we can get an app and play in the room. We don't need the casino anymore."
They did block out the sports channels from the rooms, I noticed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anything that plays sports, they'll do an ESPN update, but they won't show actual sports in the room. And that, I mean, it's all to get you down in the room or out of the room and down into the lobby. But that's September 27th, and we'll be there through the weekend, Thursday through Sunday, and yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
You've got the entire world going haywire right now, so that's good.
It's true.
We, I think Israel is upset, to say the least. So I think that could turn ugly.
Becker, you're my age. We're over 45. Do you ever remember it being anything but that over there?
No, but I don't. This one's got more of an edge. I think after you've watched it as long as we have, that this one's got a little staying power, I think. When you start killing 3 kids at a time on each side, you start getting into a weird area. You know?
I just was thinking it's such it's like background noise. You constantly hearing of, this side doing this to that side, and I don't even know what the fuck it's all about, other than I think, property rights, right? Someone wants
that land. I had a
land.
friend who went over to Palestine, and he was going to go teach English or whatever it is that gets people to go over to these places. And he was going over for a year, and he goes, "This will be really interesting. I'll understand the culture and everything about it," and blah, blah. And so he goes over there, and he said, literally 3 weeks in, they literally will argue about the same thing over and over, and each side is completely right, and you can't change their mind. And he goes, "I'm 3 weeks into a year stint," and I go, "I don't know if I can do this." Because they literally were arguing over the same thing. Well, they shouldn't be here, and he shouldn't be there. And he goes, and they're just livid about it.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You're like 10 years old."
It's easier to teach English out in the bush in Alaska.
No, and that's it.
That's a tough assignment too, and for different reasons. But I think that would be easier money. At least there's not IEDs going off or a mortar shell, right? Out in Chilkoot or whatever. Wow.
But the Israelis, they got some weapons. So here's to the Israeli army.
Can't we just settle this out on the soccer pitch?
Yeah. Isn't that how everything should be solved? A riot, a soccer riot.
Not the stands, out on the field, John.
Well, the soccer was great because when you take it down, Brazil lost. And then they lost against the Netherlands too. And then Germany goes on to win. So, when you take it all in all of the South American countries that play soccer, quite frankly, aren't as good as the Germans.
Well, I think that goes back to the European leagues, but I don't know shit about that. I just know from talking to Brian Hennigan, Doug's manager, who's Scott, and he's been following it for 30 some years. But I couldn't wait for that Brazilian match after they lost 7-1 to the Germans to see the Netherlands team just, bury them even more.
Yeah.
No team has won more World Cups than Brazil, and they just folded. And then
in their home country.
Yeah. I guess that was really what I wanted to watch.
Yeah, I know, and that's what everyone. It was almost like a blood sport. You finally got Americans interested.
Finish them!
He's going to jump the Snake River. Okay.
My prediction is in 4 years, the next World Cup, U.S. team is going to be in the top 4.
You think?
That's my prediction.
Wow.
Yeah, look at John honing in on your prediction game there, Becker.
No, I think that's a very lofty goal because I got a feeling. I don't know how we put our team together, but I just don't think other countries, like I said, they have nothing to do but soccer. We're the only country with so many distractions. I can't believe we have a soccer team.
Yeah, but a team like Brazil has nothing to do but soccer, and they did make it to the 4th, which is for
now we're doing the smart thing, and we're just getting players that are half American. So we're getting all the Germans that have a dad who's in the U.S. military to come play soccer for us. So I like the strategy. I think we're.
But I don't know what the qualifications are to play for your national team. I don't know what that is, but I mean the U.S. only gets one team. Whereas in Europe, I think they get 8 teams in that area, what they call Europe, what they classify as Europe. But it's out of 206 entrants. It whittles down to 32.
Yeah, I know. And the other thing is like when you're watching, I forget what team, one of them, but he made a he tripped a guy and they go, whoa, we'll see who likes that back when he goes back to England and plays for the whatever, the Canterbury egg team or whatever. But the point is, it's like that dream team of ours where you got people from every country on every other team.
Yeah.
And so this guy goes back to play against the guy he just tripped. They're on the same team. You go, this is weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what my interest in sports is wanes pretty quickly. But this was fun, and part of it was probably because we were on tour and we were driving 4, 5, 6 hours a day sometimes, and we had 3 games to listen to in the early stages, so that was part of it. I had time to kill. It's not like I had to rush home from work on my lunch break to set the VCR. I mean, I was a captive audience.
Right, and the other thing, that's what I kind of said when the ratings were so high in the U.S. It was because of the time zone in which they played at. Because remember before,
it worked perfectly.
When they play in like Tel Aviv or somewhere, we end up getting them pre-recorded, and you already know the score, so no one watches. This was one where you could wake up at noon, like here, and flip it on, and you had a game.
Well, it's going to be Russia in 2018, from what I read.
Yeah, Russia. So I don't know. What time zone is Russia?
That's the other way.
I think that's still the 1800s.
Wait, we just did that with the fucking Olympics.
It's the Olympics.
So we're fucked. It's just what Becker. It's just what Becker said. It's going to be. You're going to hear about the scores, and then later the game will be available. Yeah. No one's going to watch it at 3 a.m. Well, maybe.
No one's going to be able to see that my prediction was correct.
If a tree falls in the forest.
Yeah. Well, no, because we're going to have the whole John prediction. People think it's biblical, but we'll hold it up. John 0.4.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm marking that down, John.
Okay.
We're still waiting for Becker's to come true, but that'll be in November, I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mess. Well, it's all gonna be good though. Well, you know what's weird is we had another bear attack up here actually, and a lady was jogging. We're actually in Indian, right by Bird Creek.
Yeah.
And she had headphones in.
I know her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a bad one. But the thing is they said, well, she had headphones on. She didn't have bear spray. And I go, well, if a bear pounces on you, I would like a theme song. I mean, I don't know if having headphones on or not was really the reason she got attacked, but unless it were those Beats headphones.
Maybe, and then, it's not like you're supposed to run from a bear, but if you do end up running, that could be her workout jam, and it could help her pick up the pace.
Like a high beat per minute song to keep.
Yeah, some EDM or something.
I just thought it was weird. It's another reason why I don't leave the blacktop in Alaska. Every time I'm about to go biking or go to McCarthy, somebody gets attacked by a bear, and I go, no, I don't think so.
Becker always has one foot on asphalt.
I talk a lot of shit about Planet Fitness, but nobody's ever gotten attacked by a bear in there, so.
Well, maybe that's it. A combination bear spray and EDM music. If she would have had a boom box, that would have probably kept the bear away. It'd keep me away.
Actually, somebody needs to design headphones that have bear spray in the top of them. You just hit the sides and it sprays bear spray everywhere. That would work everywhere, even on a city bus.
So did she die?
No, she is recovering. I think she's actually out of the hospital.
Wow. This is what I remember about going up to Alaska 25 years ago when I first started going up there. People would tell you these stories about stuff that would happen, and everyone's very, very used to it. Like the guy walking out of the campus at UAA, and a moose stomps him. It was very, very matter of fact, telling the newbie, me, the Chichaco. And I remember thinking, this is a place where you can go work out or to go for a run, and they might not find your body. That's Alaska, and that's just out 15 miles from town.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing is up here, it is pretty ruthless. I mean, every time somebody wants to do something like snow machining, anything else, I mean, you're pretty much on your own. I mean, you can be with a group of people, but you're on your own.
But I'm not talking about like the reality series where they show these people like hiking and all this stuff way out in there. I'm talking, 30 feet from the asphalt. That's
just going like on a bike ride through a park, like where there's a playground. You can get attacked by a bear.
Yeah, or fucked up by a moose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and what bonus? No snakes.
No snakes.
There we go.
That what? That is a positive spin. We have I'm pretty close. I'm 13 miles north of the Mexican-American border.
Snakes everywhere.
Oh man. There's a nightly. I have to do a nightly bed check for scorpions.
Really? You have them that bad?
Oh well, no, but people here in the place where I'm staying have been bitten before or stung before. So I was laying in bed the other night, and back in June before we went on tour, I had no AC in here. So now I got AC in here, so it's very comfortable. And I'm laying there, and I've got like one leg out of the covers, just kind of like trying to equalize the temperature, getting it right. And something hit my leg. It turned out it was like a little June bug. These little things that just pop up somewhere between June and July, and they're about the size of a piece of hominy or a large piece of corn, just one piece of corn, right? But it had a weight to it, and then it clung to me, and immediately what I think of is I'm being stung by a scorpion, because it's in your head that it's around, and I went flailing. It was dead. I don't know how it got on me or how it got in that bed, but I moved around just enough that it attached itself to my leg, but no scorpions yet.
Which is a good thing, right?
I've killed 2, but I haven't seen any.
See, that's my rule in Costa Rica. If I don't find a scorpion, I know they're out there, so then I'm worried. But if I find one, I'm not worried because I know I got him.
Well, there's a river out here called the San Pedro River, and it runs from Mexico up in through Arizona, and it's a pretty historically relevant place because it's one of the only riparian belts that go from desert to riparian belt, which is basically just an area with cottonwoods or sycamores, and it's a pretty lush area. And I went to an interpretive walk there at 8 a.m. On Saturday, which I got endless shit for getting up that early and going out in nature around the campfire here. But it was pretty awesome because there is at 8 a.m. there's a lot of wildlife that's out before it gets too hot, and one of the things that I spotted, and it wasn't hard to see, was a huge tarantula just walking across the path. Pretty fucking menacing.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a little bit of a relief knowing that like anything in Alaska that can kill you, you'll at least hear it coming.
What the spider, non-venomous, and you could pick it up.
Don't trust it.
You could pick it up. But when you see that shit, I mean, that's always around there. And then scorpions, there's lizards, there's fucking all sorts of raptors in the air. There's so much shit going on out here, and none of it's gonna approach you or stomp you like a moose. But there's a fair deal of shit going on out here. It's the snakes is the number one thing, which in the morning is more of a deal because they will be out right in the path.
Nature wants to kill us.
Yes.
Never forget that.
And Becker, what they do is in the morning. Now I don't know this because I'm all of a sudden some fucking biologist. I just remember the 6 things that they told me in 2 hours and 45 minutes of listening to people talk about shit. I remember about 6 things, and one of them is when you come out in the morning, the snakes will be on the path, but they'll be sunning themselves, and then once they get warm, they slither away and they're gone to attack you later while you're taking a dump. I don't know.
Wow, so they're just like me.
But it was very interesting, and it is it's we're in the monsoon season out here, so we get at about 4:00 we get a downpour, like the heavens have just opened up, and then in 20 minutes it's gone.
I saw the baseball game got rained out.
The baseball game went one in Bisbee Blue. They've got their last game coming up this Saturday. So we were just out there this past Saturday watching one of their games. They've been getting beat up pretty good by the other team, and this was a doubleheader, second game, and so it was later in the afternoon. The Bisbee Blue were up 3-0 in the first inning, and second half of the second inning, there's one crack of thunder and a real quick flash of lightning, and the second base umpire, the guy out in the field, basically just immediately threw up his hands and everyone went running. That was it. It wasn't even raining yet, but that one crack was like, done, everyone, we're done. And that was it. And then I took that Vine video after that, and it was a torrential downpour. And then also doing tons of lightning that, like, you would see the flash and immediately hear it. It was striking the mountain right behind the ball field.
I just saw a story about a ultra distance runner in the middle of a race got struck by lightning, but still finished third.
Even placed?
Yep.
Not like was the last person and there's like 18 people clapping like, you're a winner. They come in last. They came in third and they got hit by lightning?
Yep. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Lightning does not slow you down?
Or maybe it sped them up.
Yeah. I mean, is that illegal?
Let's see. Adam Campbell.
Where was that at?
It was in Silverton, Colorado.
Oh, I've been to Silverton. They have a girl I was dating. Her stepsister ran a music festival up there. That's actually a place that has a small gauge railroad still in operation. Back from the silver mining days. But there's not much else to do there.
Did you get up at 8 a.m. to hear about that?
No, I did not. I had to actually go there.
Ultra distance runner and his pacer were struck by lightning as the two crossed the highest point of the course. And the two men had just passed through the 60-mile aid station. And I guess they just decided to keep going.
I mean, now I know it's not going to say it in there, John, but do you think this person actually was struck, like there's a burn mark on their head? Or do you think maybe there was a lightning strike near them, knocked them down, and they walked up? They walked for a little bit, and then they said, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really...
I can't believe you could get hit by lightning and still be...
I mean, people, like, they get hit by lightning, wake up in a hospital, and then can't smell or taste for 6 years.
Well, I mean, I guess it does say that it took out his headlamp. So that's pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, there's not a lot of details on...
I was going to say, does it say what shoes he was wearing?
The headlamp was REI and it was covered, so he get the full refund on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish the story had more details.
No, but that's just weird that, the story, that's the thing now with news. They go, yeah, a guy got hit by lightning thing, and you go, well, it's very vague after that.
And then you have questions, but they're like, fuck it, you already clicked on it, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new thing where the headline doesn't match the story, and you're like, wait a minute.
Clickhole. Have you guys been to clickhole.com?
What's Clickhole?
It's the Onion they have a new website called Clickhole. It's like BuzzFeed. It's all just like clickbait stories. It's pretty great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because I can't wait till more people post it upset with the story.
Yeah, that's the best. I can't believe this is happening. So they have a bunch of like stuff that's like a quiz, like, are you an introvert, an extrovert, or a sea monster?
Are you reading a website to us right now?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause I can definitely put the link up in the show notes, but I don't need to.
Put the link up.
Yeah.
Clickhole. It's great.
Hard to
It
say.
will waste a whole day.
I do have one addendum to that Silverton little anecdote. I said that I was up there with a previous girlfriend. The gal that we were staying with was like her stepsister or something like that, and her husband was a blacksmith, and he also ran a tow truck in town, and he also does home dentistry, and he's a bit of a hobby chiropractor.
Well, I mean, if he's already a blacksmith, he has all the tools you need to be a dentist.
Absolutely. So he was a very interesting guy, and we were the Silverton is up pretty high, and elevation having an effect on you when you smoke weed, and I don't usually smoke weed, and I remember being up there, we had a little pot, and then he decided that he would break out the chiropractor table. So I got up on that table, and he was going to adjust me, and then right then I got super affected by the low oxygen and the extra marijuana that was now in my system, and I had a bit of a freak out while this guy, this blacksmith with these big meaty paws, was shaking my head after telling me he learned this from reading books or something. Yeah.
Greg, why don't you just relax and let the amateur chiropractor snap your vertebrae?
Oh my God. The sound was such that it sounded like someone broke a 2x4. And yeah, I freaked out. I think I passed out after that.
I don't know what kind of healthcare you got, but that's anytime you got a blacksmith working on you.
Well, I mean, thank God I didn't have a loose tooth. I mean, everyone can, you can do an adjustment here. Someone cracked my back. I saw him break out the table. I didn't really think anything, but when I was laying there, man, I still remember having total anxiety. And then that kind of like crack the whip thing they do with your. I mean, I've been to a chiropractor. They've done the same thing that he did, but in the state I was in, it was alarming to say the least.
I think you didn't smoke enough.
You think that maybe that was it?
That's it.
I remember at one point thinking I was just going to sleep on the trampoline because I didn't even want to go back inside. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I don't know that I would ever smoke pot and let a guy work on my back. I don't know.
Well, hold on, a blacksmith. And let's not discount the fact that he was a tow truck driver, too. I mean, he has some idea of mechanics and the way things work, right?
And a book reader, apparently.
And, yeah, apparently. Well, someone may have read it to him.
If you can tow a car, you can fix a back.
I think so. Oh, yeah, Becker. Yeah, I have a couple of things down here that are happening. You've got a Beer Fest coming up at Chilkoot's.
Beer Fest is this weekend. It'll be goddamn fantastic.
And then don't you have a beach party or something going on in the parking lot for cancer awareness?
Yep. It's going to be a hootenanny anytime.
For what awareness?
For cancer awareness?
Cancer? What's that? What is that?
Yeah, it's this new thing. I thought it was a cookie for the longest time, but apparently it's a disease. So they're painting an Anchorage Fire Department truck pink.
Huh.
Go to coots.com for that.
Yes.
And then Beer Fest. I know you'll be there for that, John.
I think so. Yeah, I think I'll be there. I don't know if I'm pouring or just enjoying this year.
You could do both.
I will be both.
Yeah.
And Collective Soul.
August 9th.
Goddamn full month.
Near the Wild is what you've been listening to.
This is Mat Becker sitting on a bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
This is John Norris sitting on a futon in Anchorage, Alaska.
And this is Greg Chaille in the hopefully scorpion-free a little abode in Bisbee, Arizona.
Goddamn brilliant.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Mat Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.